Hey everyone, since Abyss League's come out, I was like, fuck it, let's do a video. Um, so for this league, I just wanted something that was point and click. Literally, I just have to remember to hit 3 buttons the entire time. I don't have to fuck around with microing skills or anything like that. Anyway, so my build of choice this season is the Righteous Fire Zerker. Now, I'm actually following the Pox guide because that one's probably the easiest to follow out of all of them, and it's probably the most powerful out of all the guides out there anyway. But the question you may be asking is, how the f do I get this working without without a Rise of the Phoenix? Well, it's actually pretty fucking hard, it turns out, and it was a bit grindy yesterday, but it's day 2 of Abyss League, and I'm almost fully sustaining it with minimal degen. In fact, not much degen at all. So how did I do that? Well, let's have a look at it. I don't have my own hideout at the moment either, so, you know, you're just going to have to excuse that shit. But, alright, let's have a look at this bitch. So, first of all, the item you're going to need to be able to do this, straight up, is the Springleaf Plank Kite Shield. Now, ignore the armor and energy shield stats because they're garbage, but this gives you 3% life regeneration per second, 3% of life regeneration per second while on low life. So, basically, when you start to get absolutely fucked by Righteous Fire, and when you get to low life, it starts to slow down significantly, which lets you regen. Now, void of that, 3% of life regeneration per second is unbelievably powerful. If we go and have a look at what the Righteous Fire gives us, the main difference that this is going to give us, obviously it's saying 15.1 life regeneration per second, whatever. The reason why people generally use Righteous Fire is this 5% maximum fire resist stat. Now, you can sort of achieve this when you use the tree, but you're only going to get 1%. And the other way that I'm mitigating this right now without having a Righteous Fire is by having Purity of Fire, which as you level up that gem, you get an increase by I think it goes up to 4 or 5% as well. You get an additional maximum fire resist stat on that as well, which pretty much helps you regen past your limit. If basically you're going over 9,000 before level 50 on this shit. So other items that I've got sitting in this build is just I got lucky enough to have a 5-link drop. This Kikazaru Topaz Ring is a must. This sells for about 3C on the market. Springleaf sells for 1C. So it's only going to take you 4C to get up enough shit to be able to run Righteous Fire, as long as your build's consistent enough. Other things that I've done, these new Stygian visors are pretty awesome. I've got one that gives me 0.6 life regeneration while moving, which is dope. It just means as long as I'm running, then this fat guy ain't going to fall over anytime soon. My boots are pretty much shit because I'm at league. I'm in the starter league. I'm on level 52, I think. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much everything is garbage, less these 2 items. And I also picked up a pyre as well. Rise of the Phoenix right now is selling for about 4 to 6C as well because it's early league. Pick one of these up ASAP if you're going to run this build, because otherwise you're going to be spending through the dick trying to find one of these. These will go up to like 30 to 50C once people start running these builds. I just happened to get lucky enough to have a Chaos Armor a divination card drop for me, so yeah, lucky. So build path. Oh yeah, I should add, the other thing that keeps me alive as I go is Enduring Cry. Aside from obviously there are 5 key abilities here if you must. So you obviously need Purity of Fire, Vitality, so you got that health regen. You've got Purity of Fire, which is increasing your additional maximum fire resist and giving you 31% at the level that I've got it at, of just standard fire resist. You need Righteous Fire, and you're going to gem Righteous Fire with increased area effect in early days, burning damage support, and elemental focus. Now that seems like that would cancel out, but it just means they burn like a motherfucker while they're in the circle. It just doesn't leave a lasting proc, which is fine because that's pretty dope. And Righteous Fire will generally scale off health. The more health that you have, the more you're going to burn people, but there's a trade-off at early levels. So the more health that you have, the quicker this is going to burn your health down if your maximum stat isn't capped past here. So basically, if you can't regen past the 2% that I can get right now above my maximum stat, then you're just going to eat health like a fat pig. It's the Righteous Fire is just a hard build to get started with. That being said, it is possible to do, which is how I've sort of geared myself right now. Ooh, I'll just identify that. That's a piece of shit. So, how did I build my tree? So I basically followed Pox's guide. The first key thing is you're gonna have to build through these health nodes. Don't pick up the increased these little life nodes yet. You'll see these spouted around. I'm just leaving these out for now because it's a waste of time getting them. It's a waste of a point. We need to go for vital points right now. So I'm at level 52 and I have specced through these health nodes here into this cluster, Heart of the Warrior, Warrior's Blood. Then I went down. Ignore moving up here until to level this character up to about level 40 or so. You're going to have to use Sunder. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You can't run Righteous Fire straight off the mark. It's too hard of an ability to sustain. So first of all, I moved down here. Obviously, I had to pick these up temporarily while I'm a bit dumb at the moment, and I'm not so nimble, so I needed these skills here. So then I've moved down and I picked up Golem's Blood pretty much straight away because that's 1.6% life regen. That's a fair fucking crack of life regen. And I've left the 5% node. I'll pick that up later on when I can afford that. So then I've moved up here, I've picked up this Master of the Arena. You get 1% life regen, just ignore the fizz damage, doesn't really matter. That 1% life regen is what we're after. Then I've went down, picked up my Bravery, 8% life, picked up Art of the Gladiator, which means my armor doesn't slow me down, and I get more dex. So then I've moved back up here, and I've moved up the tree, and this Barbarism is a key node. As you can see, it gives you 1% to maximum fire resistance, which is what basically lets you run Righteous Fire earlier on. So you need that. You absolutely need that. You cannot do this build before level 50 without that, or before you get a Rise of the Phoenix without that. Again, leave this little node here. We'll pick that up later on. I've moved up and I've grabbed Arsonist, which gives me again 1% life regeneration per second. And then I went back up here. I've noticed that I'm still too stupid to do very much, so I've picked up Ancestral Knowledge. Then I've picked up my Combat Stamina, which again gives me 1% life regeneration. So, ignoring this right now, the two that you want to pick up after you pick up Combat Stamina is this Dex node and this 10 Strength and then Sanctity. Do not pick this node up before you have enough regen and before you have a little bit more in the tank to be able to sustain more health. So next you want to go over and you want to do Wizard's Coat. I've just got this here, just increases burning damage. This is temporary. Obviously League Starter, I'm waiting for stuff to drop and I need more currency. So then I moved over and I picked up Shaper. I did not pick up these nodes first. I picked up Shaper because I'm increasing my base regen based on my total health. So that's going to combat the burn coming off Righteous Fire. Then I've picked up these two life regen nodes. I'll pick up this dual socket next. And then I move down here to pick up Constitution, which gives me 40% maximum life. Once you have this, then move back up here and pick up Discipline. Now I've only just done this, so I went from basically up until this point I had no degen, but now I have degen, so it's a little bit of degen. It's completely sustainable now for me though. So the other thing is I would suggest against running Righteous Fire until you've done the first lab, and the reason why is we need Warbringer. And basically what this lets us do is we basically run Enduring Cry constantly, and it recovers 25% of our life and mana when I hit that war cry, and it increases the duration by 100% and 100% recovery speed, cooldown recovery speed, which means that this thing is popping every 1 second or so, and it is bullshit. So I can just go around, war cry, enduring cry, bam, 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 and it just absolutely face tanks everything and keeps me kicking and keeps me going. The other thing that it does is it generates endurance charges based on the enemies around me, which means I'm up to 3 endurance charges, which is giving me additional health regeneration. And at the current point, it's giving me 216 health regen per second, which is pretty fucking OP. So, aside from that, looking at the stats, I have, right now it's not coming up as max, but this is max once I hit Purity of Fire. And then my health regen is sitting at 337.6 just at stock. But, and this is just an early area, so we'll go to Twilight Strand, as you can see I'm in part 2. I'll go out. The other thing I've got is Stone Golem. I find that having that additional amount of health regen helps a shitload. So, with all of our stats up, we're looking at 421 life regen per second, which isn't bad. We've got max cap resistance, and as you can see, we've got past 75, so we've got 77%, which is the reason why we can have this working right now. So if I do this, as you can see, absolutely jack shit all degen, and then I just hit this. Enduring Cry. Enduring Cry. Enduring Cry. And it basically doesn't do anything to the matter, because it regens itself, so it's brilliant. So then, I can just run through and absolutely go face on everything. I don't have to do shit. And then obviously on my shield charge, I'm running faster attacks, and I'm running Fortify, so that's giving me an even better ability to sustain damage. And especially with Abyss League, as you can see here, you just stand in one place. You don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do shit. Look, I'm a lazy motherfucker. Look at this. You start to drop health, you go down. I should also say you should run Ruby Flasks, which just increase your ability to regen further. Look at this, Abyss Steps. And this is pretty much Righteous Fire. This is all you need to do with Righteous Fire. And then you just basically want to just smash away around the map. As you can see, as I move, my degen's basically gone. I'm actually regenning when I move because of my 0.6% on my Stygian belt node. So, Abyss League is actually quite good. Having that belt is almost double dipping on an item stat, which is freaking brilliant. So, all I do, I just move around, hit my war cry, everything just dies around me. This isn't very much lower than me. This is level 46 content, so it's not too bad. Oh, let's level that shit up. Look at that. It all just dies. Die. Die to my righteousness. Ooh, all regret. My fire is so righteous. Anyway, this is basically how to build Righteous Fire. And to be honest, I've done every boss. I haven't died on any of the bosses yet, because I just regen like a beast. I just stand next to them like, how do you like some fire in your face? And they're like, oh yeah, I like fire, I don't mind it. Yeah, well, fire purges all, including your face, so go fuck yourself. But this is basically all you need to do. Easiest build in the game. And once I get my my Rise of the Phoenix, once I am able to equip at 65, basically this build will carry me through endgame and will be an absolute beast. Like, look at this, look at how fast this is. You imagine mapping with this shit? Anyway, if anyone needs any starter pointers or whatever, post up in the comments. I'll address whatever you need. But if I was going to be starting basically if I was a newcomer to the game, or even if I just wanted an easy starter league build, this is probably the easiest you can get. Literally, I could just sit here with one hand all day. I could be sipping on beers, I could be drinking Jack and Coke, doesn't really matter. Because you don't need to do more than click 3 buttons. And it's satisfying, just watching everything burn. Anyway, if you like this guide, or, you know, even if you thought it was shit, give it a like, and yeah, I'll post more progress builds of how this is going, and we'll see if I get it right, or if I completely fuck it up and have to redo my season build. But look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, you're a bit more of a tanky bastard. Look, you little thug. Oh yeah, you can't even hurt me, mate. What are you even doing down here? You're not even a real monster. You might as well be the Diet Coke of monsters. Anyway, I'll hopefully see some comments, see some likes. Maybe. If you don't, oh well. Anyway, enjoy and keep exiling. Bye.